Rome did not fall because one enemy arrived. Rome fell because greatness became too heavy to carry. Rome once looked too vast for any enemy to break with one decisive blow. Its roads cut through mountains, deserts, rivers, forests, frontiers, ports, and conquered provinces. Its eagles rose above cities that trembled beneath Roman law and imperial command. But the power that mastered the world slowly became too heavy for Rome to carry. Rome became great because it organized what other powers only conquered and collected. It built roads, courts, aqueducts, ports, markets, walls, bridges, granaries, and disciplined armies. Every province fed the center with taxes, grain, soldiers, labor, tribute, and obedience. For centuries, Rome looked eternal because its system made power visible across the world. Warning 1 is that expansion becomes weakness when conquest grows faster than repair. Every conquered land demanded soldiers, roads, governors, money, supplies, and constant obedience. Rome did not only gain territory, it inherited every danger surrounding that territory. The empire became larger than the discipline, patience, and repair needed to keep it alive. Warning 2 is that borders speak first when the center has grown distant. The frontiers felt rains, hunger, migration, pressure, fear, and exhaustion before Rome understood them. Distant commanders saw danger early, but the capital often listened dangerously late. When leaders stop hearing the edges, collapse begins beyond the palace walls and marble floors. Warning 3 is that armies protect power until protection becomes the heaviest burden. Rome needed soldiers to guard roads, rivers, forts, walls, cities, harbors, and exposed frontiers. But soldiers needed pay, supplies, land, pensions, discipline, and leaders worthy of their loyalty. When defense becomes too expensive, even victory starts draining the state from within. Warning 4 is that taxes become dangerous when trust begins to disappear. People endure heavy burdens when they believe the system still protects their homes. But resentment grows when taxes rise while safety, fairness, dignity, and justice decline. Rome weakened when people paid more and felt less protected by the power demanding payment. Warning 5 is that unstable succession turns leadership into a battlefield. An empire cannot remain calm when every throne invites another armed struggle. Generals became kingmakers, rivals became threats, and ambition entered the palace with drawn blades. Rome's enemies outside grew stronger, while leaders kept wounding the center from within. Warning 6 is that corruption spreads faster when duty becomes private profit. A system becomes fragile when office, favor, law, contracts, and protection serve the powerful. The poor feel abandoned, soldiers feel uncertain, merchants hesitate, and governors begin serving themselves. When public trust is sold quietly, the state loses the invisible foundation beneath its stones. Warning 7 is that comfort weakens correction before strength completely disappears. Rome's success brought wealth, luxury, pride, entertainment, and the habit of expecting survival. Comfort did not destroy Rome alone, but it made warnings easier to ignore. A civilization becomes most vulnerable when success teaches leaders they no longer need to listen. Warning 8 is that rented loyalty cannot replace shared belief and purpose. Rome increasingly depended on outside fighters, alliances, payments, and unstable military arrangements. Some served bravely, but bought strength never equals a common civilizational purpose. When an empire rents loyalty for survival, it risks renting its own future away. Warning 9 is that systems collapse when too many pillars weaken together. Rome was not only emperors, palaces, legions, statues, triumphal arches, crowns, and ceremonies. It was grain, coinage, courts, roads, farms, water, borders, taxes, law, and belief. When these pillars cracked together, no single victory could repair everything before the weight returned. Warning 10 is that collapse begins before the final fall becomes visible. Long before the last emperor vanished, Rome had already weakened beneath its symbols. Authority faded, provinces slipped away, armies shifted loyalty, and confidence slowly declined. The world noticed collapse late because decline often wears old crowns and familiar banners. Then came the visible breaking, when old glory could no longer hide weakness. Rome was sacked, shocked, humiliated, and forced to face the vulnerability it denied. Enemies did not create every crack, but entered through cracks already open. The empire fell hardest where greatness had become too heavy, costly, and divided to defend. Yet Rome's fall was never simple, and that is what makes it more frightening. No single cause explains a civilization that endured across so many centuries. Politics, disease, economy, borders, armies, resources, distrust, and exhaustion pressed together. Great powers rarely die from one wound, but from wounds they repeatedly refuse to treat. Rome still warns every rising power because its mistake was never small. It confused size with strength, wealth with health, silence with stability, and victory with safety. It believed endurance was guaranteed because yesterday had not destroyed it. But yesterday's survival never pays tomorrow's cost of neglect, repair, humility, and truth. That is why Rome still speaks through broken arches, roads, stones, gates, and silence. Its ruined walls say power can rise higher than wisdom can follow. Its empty forums say systems fail when conquest becomes greater than repair. Its fallen glory says no empire is stronger than the burdens it refuses to see. Look at Rome and remember that power is never safe because it is large. A system can conquer outward while quietly breaking inward beneath its own weight. The heaviest burden is often success that refuses to examine the cost of itself. Rome did not fall in one day because it fell whenever warning was ignored. Empires rise when order holds. Empires fall when warnings go unheard.